This is our rest area. The rest area in town. We'll get a little bit better look at it here. As we drive into the rest area, see there's plenty of trees. I'm going to take the tour here. We've got a playground. This is where people come up and watch some of the thunderstorms come in. A little circle. There's the flatlands out there. And it is flat for quite a ways until you get to that mountain range out there. But you can see some hutches here. One gets into the hutches and they watch the thunderstorms come through. There's 3 of them here. I come here and made some videos of the hutches. Alright, now we're going to go to the main building over there. So, let's head that way. So we passed the playground. Nice little playground, some more hutches. They have barbecue things in them. Little bridge there for spring runoff. Spring runoff's about done now. Up here is the main building. And we'll go in and we'll take a little tour. I'll try to hold this as still as I can. We come to the front door. I mean, this rest area is nice. I mean, super nice. Got a nice front desk. Amazing. You don't see that in the West Coast. Welcome center. We got coffee inside here. It's really nice. Bathrooms are clean. The place is simply not the West Coast. Come in here, we got kind of a mini little museum. A lot of history in here. A lot of stuff about the Indians. Kind of a map here of Sheridan. There's the mountains. Kind of a neat little deal here. Got some other things over there. They got different things in them. We'll visit them in a second. The view. So we walk out the doors here. Is simply stupendous. This is what we wake up to every day. This is Sheridan. You can see the sprawl of the town starts where I had the camera. And as we turn and take a closer look at the mountains there. You can see the mountains disappearing out there, way over the east. We live right out there. We live at the very north end of town. Probably see the whitish building way. We live about a couple miles before that. And then of course you can see some more of the bighorns way back in the background. Simply beautiful here. We'll take some more shots of the mountains coming back across here with some zoom on them. They are simply beautiful. In the summer they are so green, and all this brownish grass is just green until about the first week in July. Then it turns golden like hay. But it is a beautiful sight here. A little hazy today. A little moisture in the air, so they're not as clear as I'd like them to be, but it's still beautiful. And as you can see, we walked through these doors here. They have a nice little walkway here that you can come and enjoy the view while you're stopping here at the rest area. It's hard to keep this camera still. I'm gonna need to buy one with a little bit better motion control here. You can see it comes on around the corner here. They got a nice circular fencing deal here that goes and takes you back around to the parking lot. You can see where the desert is here. We're gonna go get some shots of the eastern dry mountains now. As we head back to our little red Blazer 4-wheel drive. This is shotgun, rifle, and 4-wheel drive country, I am telling you. You don't have a 4-wheel drive, you are foolish. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just didn't want to get in your way.
Sending this to people back on the big icky cities on the west coast. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't never going back to that. Is the east, looking west from the east. Those are the mountains we just showed. Here's the eastern side of the valley. I'll zoom in here. I'll try and keep it still. And these aren't nowhere near as tall as the bighorns on this side, but they're still fairly sizable. And they are beautiful, especially when they green up. It is amazing how different they look. Of course, way on this side, they only green up for about a month and a half, I think. Not very long. But definitely beautiful country. Got Mr. Train here, getting ready to cross the road. That ought to fairly well sum up the mountains. Later this summer when we can get up there's too much snow, I'll get a bunch of video of on top of the mountains, etc. We're just up there videoing the lake. You can see the colors well. If you look at the mountains here, They're grown over with sagebrush and grass. They look all dirty, but once you start getting into the colors here, once you start digging below that grass, it is nothing but this orange red stuff, and it's just gorgeous, just beautiful. And this little rock gravel quarry kind of shows it, you know. It is truly beautiful in the summer too, because all these hills turn green. The grass all turns green, bright green. Right now it's all dead from 30 below and stuff, but beautiful country. Now I know you think, yeah, more mountains. But I want to draw your attention to where these mountains with the pine trees on them ends there. On the right, you can see on the right hand side is where the dead side of them. Well, that white patch up there on that little nub that sticks out to the east, about 8 miles from the main raid, that is where Sitting Bull loved to camp in the summer. Because from that vantage point he could see for miles and miles north and south, and he knew if people were coming. And of course, as scouts in the mountains, you always knew when someone was coming from the mountains, but through the flatlands he could see for miles and miles either direction. And that's what the locals in Story see, that very important spot up there. Very historic. So I had to stop and just get a shot of that for you guys. And my, what do we have here? Looks like a couple people's horses got out, which is, it's hard to say, fairly common. The horses get out and they're kind of mixed up. We're going to try and pass them nice and slow here. Hey, horsey, you need to go back on. Oh, he's really hurt. Oh, the poor baby. Oh, he is bloody. This is just outside of Story. We call this our Little Sisters. Because from here on out, the mountains are over there. That's looking west right now. You can kind of see the outline of a mountain in the trees. It goes up another 6,000 feet from here, and we're at about 6,000 foot elevation right here. But you can see the ponderosas just, they take over. It reminds me of Sisters area. Little creek down there like the chutes. There's little brookies on that. It's not really that big, but you go up and over to Clear Creek, there's a lot of big browns in it, and it reminds me more of the Little Deschutes, except it's not going through no flat land. The Little Goose actually goes through the flatlands, kind of like the Deschutes does. But you know, this is 20-minute drive, and we're at the mountains, just like Eastern Oregon in the Sisters area. And the lake's not far. I mean, it is just fabulous here. But I just wanted to kind of give you a shot of what our Little Sisters looks like here. We don't have to drive 3 hours to get to it either. Love it. And you might be able to see the mountains building up back there. I don't know, it's gorgeous here. Gorgeous. Well, there's so much glare I can't really see what I'm filming. But here's the mountains. This is looking east. Or I mean west. I'm looking west at the Bighorn Mountains here. And they are some beauties, let me tell you. This is Lake DeSchmidt. It's about halfway between Sheridan and Buffalo. And And as you can see, the mountains, they just go along here for miles and miles and miles. You look and you'll notice all the trees on them, because pretty much where these mountains are is where the moisture stops. I mean, after these mountains here and stuff, it don't rain hardly at all for miles and miles. It will get the snow. Now let's take a look at Lake DeSchmidt here. It starts way down there. You go another 5 or 6 miles that way around the corner there. The lake goes on. And you can see here, you see the small mountains here, there's no trees. You know, there's a bunch of sagebrush and stuff. Right down here you can see see those 2 things on the lake. Those are people ice fishing. Some really big fish in this lake. And then of course the lake, it goes on. You notice again the mountains don't have any trees. It is just sagebrush, some junipers here and there, but I mean that way you hit the Dakotas, flatlands. But it's beautiful. I was going a bit too fast to stop and get some video of the antelope, but I'm hoping to see some more. I'll stop and get some pictures of them. Simply a gorgeous lake, though. We really love this place, and it's the least populated state in the United States. Well, there's that mountain Sitting Bull like to sit on right there. As you can see, it sticks out here. You can look that way for miles and miles and miles. With the mountains at his back, he could see across the plains, and that's looking towards North Dakota. All this east is all just desert. It is just desert. As I pan the camera around here, now we're looking directly east. I seen an eagle flying right there in the little wind thingy. Had some branches in the mountain, probably building a nest or working on it, but I don't see him now. But there's Sitting Bull's summer camp, his favorite. So you can see forever in both directions. We live that way about 15 miles.